Hi, happy Mother's Day to all you mamas out there. This is my first Mother's Day without Nicole, so I miss her. But hopefully I'll see her soon. So here's a quick recap of what's been happening and some blessings that I've experienced through the past week. Monday I did go to work and I was pretty tired, but it felt so good to be teaching and to just be with my students. I really miss them. And at one point, I'm just sitting in front of my class teaching them, I think, a grammar lesson, and I just stopped. And I just felt my heart flutter, and it was just, I don't even know how to explain it, just joy. I'm like, oh, I just missed teaching so much, and it was so good to be back. And so I guess my blessing on Monday was that I got to be back in my classroom and be teaching with my students. I went home pretty tired, so took it easy the rest of the night. And then Tuesday, unfortunately, I woke up with a fever. And so I called the hospital that I've been going to, Cancer Treatment Center of America, and their level of ER was full. So I went to the John C. Lincoln Hospital here nearby my house and waited 3 hours and pretty much sat in Troy's car the whole time because I didn't want to catch anything, and they still had not called my name. And so the nurse that works alongside my oncologist at Cancer Treatment Center called me and kept checking on me, saying, you know, are you in yet? And I said no, and she finally, I don't know, called the director or something and got me a bed and said, come on down. So that was a huge blessing that I didn't have to go through the ER at John C. Lincoln. And so I did get admitted at Cancer Treatment Center of America on Tuesday, and my chest x-ray showed pneumonia. So I stayed there until, was it Friday, Troy? Friday?
Friday.
Yeah, long hospital stay, many nights in the hospital. That was hard. Just trying to figure out what was wrong with me, exactly what type of pneumonia, and giving me antibiotics. And one of the coolest things that happened, this was a big blessing, was one of the pastors came in and just, I think he sensed it, my nurse sensed that I was feeling a little low on Wednesday, and called him and he said, hey, can I come pray with you? And I was like, sure. So he said, well, can Nurse Kim pray with us as well? And I was like, well, of course, you know. I thought, wow, I didn't think a nurse would be allowed to pray. And so they prayed over me, and that just touched my heart, and then it lifted me up. And then Thursday morning, Kim had her morning shift, and she came back in and she said, I just want you to know, I'm not your nurse today, but I just had to see you. She said, I woke up this morning and I was doing some reading, and you just would not get out of my head. And she said, the Lord just kept putting your face in front of my name, or in front of me. And she said, I just kept reading about how Jesus healed people, and when people came to him, they didn't ask for healing. They came and said, Jesus, can you show us mercy? And she said, if you're okay with it, can I pray over you and just ask Jesus to show you mercy? And I thought, oh my gosh, yeah. And so here's my nurse praying over me, and we're both just crying, tears of joy. And that's what these are too, tears of joy. And I just thought, what a blessing to have such a caring environment. What a caring nurse. And so that was beautiful. And then Friday, I finally got to go home. And so I came home. I literally was home for 2 hours. Troy and I had dinner. We went to go sit outside to watch the sunset. And all of a sudden, I didn't feel like talking, and Troy was concerned, and he said, why aren't you talking? And I said, my heart just feels like it's gonna pound right out of my chest. And so he went and grabbed my Apple Watch. I want to tell you right now, this sucker saved my life. He put it on my wrist, and my heart rate was going anywhere from like 86, 90 to 190, 191, back down to 170 to 186. It was crazy. We actually thought something was wrong with the watch. So he put it on him, and his was like steady 75, puts it back on me, and it starts doing the same exact thing. So we called the emergency number that was given to us at our discharge, and the nurse said, you need to call 911, you're an AFib. I knew what that was because my dad had experienced that, but I had never experienced anything like that in my life. Ooh, what a crazy ride. So we called 911, and the fire department showed up and took me off to, where do you think? John C. Lincoln's ER. So I get right in, and so that was a blessing, not having to wait in the ER. And my mom and dad showed up, and my dad put out a prayer chain through his Bible study, and 20 minutes go by, and in comes the nurse to give me the medication to help my heart get out of AFib. And she was a little nervous because it lowers your blood pressure, and my blood pressure was already low. And she stops and looks at the monitor, and Troy pointed it out to her. He's like, look at the numbers. They're slowly going down. They're not bouncing anymore. And so this was a huge miracle from God and a blessing. So 20 minutes after my dad puts it on his prayer chain through his Bible study, my heart corrected itself. I'm so happy. God does miracles every day. I believe that was a miracle. And so, praise God. And so I didn't have to take that medication and have the risk of my heart or my blood pressure being lowered even more. And so I was admitted. They wanted to monitor me overnight. They did say my chest x-ray did not look good again. Same thing, pneumonia. So they sent me home on Saturday. I looked like a Cabbage Patch Kid from all the fluids that were given to me. It was crazy. So I came home Saturday, pretty much rested most of the day, and woke up today feeling a little off. And I'm just been laying low all day today, just taking my temp and my heart rate every hour and recording it and keeping it in a log. And you know, blessings today are my sister Bev's bringing us dinner. Our friends Eileen and Rob made a Costco run for us. My sister and Sherry made grocery runs for us yesterday and brought us things that we needed. And my husband Troy has done everything that I usually do around the house, plus more. So I've been very well taken care of and loved on. And I know a lot of people have been wondering what is going on, like what I've only heard from her. I just literally have been either in the hospital or even right now I'm just exhausted. I'm really tired, but I was scared. I'll be honest, I was really scared, especially when I had to go right back to ER. But I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow just as a follow-up. And Cancer Treatment Center of America has a nurse call me every night to check in on me and see how I'm doing, which is a huge blessing. And, you know, just still looking for blessings every day. I got to tell you, this past week was rough, but I still found many. And I know I can. I know I will. And so making these videos is healing for me. It really is. And it just puts things back into perspective. And I know that God's in control. And I just need to trust him. And I'll get through this. It's just scary when you're going through it the very first time. You don't know what to expect. So if you'd like to pray for me, pray that this week is uneventful, no drama. And that this pneumonia completely clears up. And that I can feel myself 100%. And I am going to take the week off of work and just take care of me and get healed. Don't want any more backslides. And just remember, blessings are everywhere. Just keep your eyes open and you will find them.